Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, we talk to Craig Harris, the journalist who continues to uncover fraudulent use of ESA school vouchers. Also tonight, we'll hear about a proposed ballot initiative to reform the ESA program and a look at legislative efforts to limit the cost of energy bills for mobile home residents. Those stories and more next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your public television station.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. Public records reveal tens of thousands of prohibited purchases involving Arizona's Empowerment Scholarship Account program. The banned purchases occurred in just a 9-month period and raise questions about oversight of a program now costing the state more than $1 billion. Craig Harris of 12 News uncovered these latest public records for his latest report on ESA concerns. Craig, good to have you back. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
And continued great work on this. You did an audit of public records, correct?
Well, actually, we didn't do the audit. The Department of Education did their own audit. So these are their own records that show about 1 in 5, about 20% in the audit within as a sample are on a list of banned items, things you're not supposed to buy, like cell phones, like big screen TVs, like we make a joke about it, like lingerie. And they found in their own sample that that's how high the number was.
Sample over a 9-month period.
It was a sample of a much larger, over like 1 million purchases over a 9-month period, but it was a sample size of that group.
So 22%, you had 301,000 purchased. Okay, no problem there. But 84,000 purchases, no go. They weren't, that's almost a quarter of taxpayer money going to what could be argued as waste, fraud, and abuse.
Well, some would argue that way. I mean, I've got to be really careful about pointing out whether that is or not, but the list is it's about 100 items that you're not supposed to purchase. And most people that are reasonable say, why are we using tax dollars to buy a diamond ring or a big screen TV or cell phones? You know, when we looked at the data that we had pulled from last year, there's over $300,000 of cell phones that were bought, and you're not supposed to be able to buy those. And the reason is that Superintendent Horn allows anything under $2,000 to be bought.
Yes, and so you can't figure out what's going on under that level. Any response from Superintendent Horn on this latest report of yours from the sampling?
No, they didn't want to comment. They didn't really. They tried to point out that. Well, actually, I'm going to take it back. They said that they've caught $1 million of potential fraud. They're going to try to claw back, but there's tens of millions of dollars of questionable spending that should be clawed back because the parent handbook is very clear. You agree to get an empowerment scholarship that you promise, I will not buy any of these. And if you do, your account's supposed to be suspended. And just looking at, just roughing it, we're talking tens of millions of dollars of purchases that shouldn't have been bought. Those accounts should be suspended.
I know the superintendent, though, said, and you found 22%, something along those lines here, in this 9-month audit from the Education Department. He says fraud rate for ESA at most 1%. What do you make of that?
I've asked him to explain that, and I don't understand where he's getting that number because they haven't explained it and they haven't walked through where they get that percentage. I guess if you take 1 million of what they've got and a $1 billion program, that gets you 1%. But that's just what they've tried to go back and get. That doesn't mean the number's that high. You know, if you look at, like, for example, the other day, Republicans are trying to claw back and really crack down on what they call misuse of SNAP and Medicaid dollars. But even for SNAP, which is the food stamp program, the error rate is about 8%, 8.8%. They want to get that to 6%. That's the national standard. Well, if you just talk an error rate for ESAs, it's about 20%. That doesn't mean there's necessarily fraud because it was intentional.
Right.
That would be where you get the fraud number. But you know, I'm not understanding how you can say there's not a higher number when we have shown, and their own records show, there's tens of millions of dollars that are the money that is being spent on items that are not supposed to be bought.
So what kind of response are you getting? Obviously, Superintendent Horn has his response. He may not respond to you now. But as far as other lawmakers and all other public officials and such policymakers, you look at this, it's a sampling, I get it, but still, that's, 20% of not being on the wrong side. That's not good, Craig.
We have asked, my good friend and colleague Joe Dana has asked lawmakers about that. And Republican lawmakers do not want to touch this. And I've even asked a couple yesterday. I asked both the majority leader in the House and the Senate about this, and they did the same thing. It's only 1%. And I'm like, well, where do you get those numbers? Now, to their credit, they are being judicious and cracking down on fraud in the Medicaid and the SNAP program. I think everyone would agree you don't want fraud anywhere. But they don't want to take that same kind of judicious look at the ESA program. That is a sacred cow. Part of it is because there are a lot of lawmakers who use the program, and so they don't want to touch it.
There's so many things I want to ask you about. The idea, and we've had Superintendent Horn on before, and he makes the argument that, you know, upwards of $1 billion now is what we're seeing this program is costing. He says, though, it all evens out because the folks that would be going to public schools and you're spending money there, instead, they're going to private schools. It's an even kind of a trade or close to it. What do you make of that?
Numbers don't, that's not true. That's absolutely false. And if you take a look at the numbers, even their own Department of Education numbers, that's factually wrong. There were less than 20,000 kids in the program in 2022. That's when the program primarily helped kids with special needs or military families. Today, there's over 100,000. The math doesn't math. It's not a one-for-one. Now, the Grand Canyon Institute, which does lean a little to the left, they found the net cost is at least $400 million of additional cost. And they factored it out, what it would cost if you save some money. But it's not a one-for-one. The overwhelming majority of ESA users, right after it expanded in 2022, were kids who are already homeschooled or kids who are already in private schools. And so they're not leaving the public school system to go to the ESAs. Some are, there's a good chunk of them are, but it's not a one-to-one basis.
Has anyone had a chance to look at the abuse, the unwarranted, I should say, purchases, the unwarranted purchases, and try to figure out who's involved there? Are those people who have moved over into private schools, or are those people who are already involved in part? Do we even know?
Well, we'd like to know. And actually, we've been in a big fight for over a year with Superintendent Horn and Treasurer Kimberly Yee. We have asked for those public records, and we're pretty close to maybe getting that. And once we get it, we will be able to determine a pretty solid number. The problem is they don't audit their own books. And Superintendent Horn has kept the Auditor General outside of his office and kept her away from actually looking at the numbers. They don't want to know what the real number is. It wouldn't be that hard because it's pretty easy to figure out on a spreadsheet basis the ID number of a kid and what is being bought. It's very easy to be flagged. And if someone like me can figure that out, you would think really, really smart people at the Department of Education could do the same.
Is the Department of Education trying to do the same? Are there efforts to do the same?
You know, I don't know, because I've asked about that, and they don't seem to want to answer that question. My colleague Joe Dana has asked repeatedly, have you gotten the money back on lingerie? Superintendent Horn told lawmakers, yeah, we did get it back. And we said, show us the records.
Right.
They won't provide any records to show that. And so it wouldn't be that hard to freeze an account because they know exactly who made that purchase. All they would have to do is tell the Treasurer's office, freeze that account till we get the money back.
Is the argument against this kind of information and this kind of data collecting that it would be a chilling effect? We hear about chilling effect on all sorts of voting, as far as voter registration and these sorts of things. It would keep people from the polls. Would this keep people from the program if more of this information were available?
I doubt it. And we have asked for these records, and we're still fighting to get them. And we've said, take the kids' names out. Take the families' names out. We don't want the addresses. We just want the ID number so we can correlate if a person is buying a certain amount of stuff. The first year the program happened, Treasurer Yee did release those records, and we could correlate that one family outfitted their entire house with a weight room. That's how they spent almost their entire ESA budget.
My goodness.
And the first year of the program, we have records to show that over $1 million of Legos was spent, and up to $2,000 Lego purchases were made. And also that expensive, almost up to $1,000 high-end KitchenAid products were being bought, and the families were able to keep those. And so the problem is, once those records start coming out, the people who really support ESAs, they've put pressure on Superintendent Horn and Treasurer Yee. Do not give out any records at all. Clamp it down. And so they have spent tens of thousands of dollars fighting us on our public records fight to get these documents that we think the public should know what's going on.
So what's next in all this?
We're hoping to get the records. We hope to get those in the coming weeks. Once we get them, we'll put them online. We'll put everything online. We spent a lot of money to get this, and we'll let everybody know. If you don't believe what we're saying, you can take it and download it yourself, and you can look and see what is spent on cell phones, what is spent on big screen TVs, what is spent on trips to SeaWorld, what is spent on trips to the San Diego Zoo, what is spent on trips to subsidize your family vacation. You can figure all that out, because once we get it, we will put it out there on 12news.com.
All right, Craig Harris, again, great job. Always a pleasure. Thanks for sharing your story with us and all that great information, and keep up the good work.
Thanks.
I'm Chef Mark Charbel. Welcome to Check Please Arizona, the show where Valley residents recommend their favorite restaurant. In this episode, we're enjoying an East Coast diner, Chihuahuan flavors, and regional American cuisine.
It's one of the best pancakes I've ever had in Phoenix.
It's cooked perfectly. It's crispy, it's not overly fatty.
My wife is a Manhattan drinker, and other than our one neighbor, Bruce, this is the best Manhattan she's found in the Valley.
Watch Thursday at 7 p.m. on Arizona PBS.
Across the Arizona landscape, there are thousands of hiking trails to choose from. While some hikers love to spend hours on distant trails, others require something simpler and closer to home.
I actually see these every time I hike at this time.
For the millions who live in Phoenix, there are plenty of trails to choose from right here inside the city. Watch Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on Arizona PBS.
She was Carmen.
She was Grace Bumbry, one of opera's pioneering African-American stars. In scenes from her legendary Carmen, treat yourself to the magic of Grace Bumbry on Great Performances.
Friday night at 8 on Arizona PBS.
A proposed ballot initiative could bring major changes to Arizona's ESA program, which, as we just heard, continues to see families using education funds for non-education materials. The initiative is called Protect Education Accountability Now Act, and proponents are gathering signatures to put the measure before the voters this fall. Joining us now is Beth Lewis. She's Executive Director of Save Our Schools Arizona. All right, good to see you, Beth. Thanks so much for joining us here. This proposed ballot initiative, what does it call for?
Yeah, so this was a group of educators and parents who came together to put this on the ballot. We put together a really common sense package that really focuses on, taxpayer accountability, so we know where these dollars are going to private entities and tutors. Make sure that bad actors are no longer, able to kind of, get in on any sort of grift with the ESA voucher program. And then the rest of it really focuses on safety for students, which obviously is really important, and then academic accountability for kids.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Same rules, voucher funded and public schools. You want to see the same things as far as fingerprint and these sorts of things, correct?
Yeah, I mean, in no way would it bring private schools in line with what district and charter schools need to do, but certainly it would help level the playing field.
But that means background checks for employees and health and safety standards and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and making sure that, the actual physical sites are safe. If you've got a pool and you're running, a school, do you have a pool fence, right? Are you securing weapons, et cetera? And unfortunately, none of those regulations exist right now, which I think is shocking for folks. But this would just institute really common sense reforms.
There is no income cap, I should say, right now either,
Right.
but your initiative calls for that.
It does, yes. We've seen the data coming out of the program shows that the majority of folks that have been using the program have, predominantly been from wealthier zip codes. And so, the idea is, hey, a lot of these folks were already in private school. They were already able to afford that school choice. And so why are we, the taxpayers, paying for that as a subsidy when we've got our public schools funded at 48th in the nation?
The cap would be?
$150,000, and that does not apply to families with students with disabilities or any of those pre-universal categories.
But that is a family, $150,000 per household. What about unused voucher funds? Because I know Craig had a big story on that not too long ago.
Yeah.
What happens there?
Yeah, so we know, based on reporting, that there's $440 million just sitting unused in accounts right now. This would change things. It would say, hey, you get your third grade dollars for your kid who's in third grade. After third grade, those dollars get returned to public school classrooms. and instead of being stockpiled for years and years and years, and then you get your dollars for 4th grade. So it's really common sense, and.
But that is the argument among those who are saving some of, they call it saving, they're saving some of the money maybe for college and maybe for an out-of-state college, maybe for out-of-state. You say no with this initiative.
Yeah, well, yes, the initiative as proposed right now, the language in front of, the Secretary of State does say that. And as a parent who is saving for college for my kids go to public school, we don't get money for college. And I think most taxpayers are, really resenting the idea that they would pay for somebody's college in that way.
Yeah, that's okay. You can kick our furniture. That's okay. As far as ESA spending on non-educational stuff, as we've just heard, it's happening, and there's just no doubt about it. Does the initiative address that? Does the initiative need to address that? Because isn't that already against the law?
Yeah, so we've seen, the law says non-educational stuff, but then we've seen reporting that shows that there's a lot of spending on non-educational stuff. The handbook tried to crack down on that, but the handbook is just, a regulation. It doesn't actually do anything. And so we think putting this into law and actually, having taxpayers voter protect that is really important for our taxpayer dollars.
As far as what the education leaders, superintendent of public instruction, looking at abuses, I know there's a kind of a cap there as far as his office is concerned. Is that cap addressed in the initiative?
For luxury goods?
For accountability. No, that was $2,000 and less not being looked at right now.
That is not part of the
addressed.
initiative, right?
Okay. Okay. For those who say, the parents know best. They know what their kids deserve. They know and they deserve this because they're paying in taxes as well. It's a question of choice. That will be brought up a lot if this gets on the ballot and there will be a no campaign. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, first off, 90% of families are choosing their local district or charter school that is being defunded by the voucher program. So we really need to understand that choice. Secondly, I think families are looking for quality choices. And with this whole ESA voucher expansion, I think quality has gone out the window. The conversation of, are these entities safe for kids? Are they actually teaching? And yes, parents know best. They know their child best, but they might not know whether their kid is actually getting the academic instruction that they need because they're not trained educators, and that's okay, right? That's why we have trained teachers in our public schools to serve kids' needs. And so as a parent, I taught 6th grade math. I don't know if my child is doing great in 8th grade math. That's why I lean on qualified educator.
You need a last question here. 256,000 signatures by July 2nd to get on the ballot. The program has exploded since it was open to all kids, which suggests it's popular. Can you get the signatures? Can you win if it's on the ballot?
Yes, we are confident we are going to get those signatures, and we are ready to do what it takes to, preserve public education, make sure that ESA families get safe, accountable choices, and that taxpayers win too.
All right, Beth Lewis, Executive Director, Save Our Schools. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Ted. All right.
Two bills at the state legislature look to address energy affordability concerns for mobile home residents. The legislation would, among other things, prevent trailer park landlords from charging tenants more for their utilities than the park itself is billed. To learn more, we welcome Kelly McGowan, Executive Director of Wildfire, a nonprofit focused on ending poverty. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So energy affordability for mobile home residents. Utility bills, that's a major complaint, isn't it?
Sure. I mean, I think you're seeing energy affordability just in the national conversation right now. We've got some data that energy bills last year rose at twice the rate that inflation did. So I think that you're really seeing people struggle with energy affordability across the nation and in Arizona, and particularly for low-income households.
Yeah, and mobile homes, Arizona's got its share of mobile homes, don't we?
We sure do. I mean, there's no official record or registration of mobile homes in the state, but estimates put it about 150 to 300,000 units.
What kind of protections do these folks have right now when it comes to utilities?
Yeah, I mean, these bills that we're trying to run are creating greater protections because in mobile home parks or manufactured home parks, they're in a unique situation in that they own the manufactured home, but they're renting the land from the landlord. And they're often master metered or sub-metered from a utility perspective. So the landlords are the customer of the utility, not the mobile manufactured home owner.
Interesting. Has this always been the case with mobile homes?
As long as I know, as far back as when we established mobile home parks in Arizona, this has been the case.
And it's a concern, obviously, in Arizona because we have some pretty strong temperatures for much of the year, and a lot of mobile home residents are the elderly.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a really affordable housing stock for a lot of people. But they're not as well insulated, or they have some heat-related issues. And we see a higher percentage of heat-related deaths happen in mobile home parks.
All right. HB 2459, that's a bill that sounds like it's moving pretty well. What's that one all about?
Yeah, HB 2459 was sponsored by Representative Hendricks, and this is a pretty simple bill that just tries to give better protections in the Mobile Home Landlord Tenant Act. And it basically says that landlords cannot charge their tenants more than they were being charged by the utility, plus an $8 administrative fee for the landlord reading the meter, preparing the bill, things of that nature. But they cannot pass on charges that the utility is not charging them.
And the rental agreement must include disclosed utilities and that agreement as well?
Sometimes the utilities are included in rent, and sometimes they are not. The tenants will get a separate utility bill.
So, how does this particular legislation address that?
Both, either way. If somebody is if their utilities are included in their rent, or if they have an individual bill that the landlord is giving them, that cost cannot be more than what the landlord is being charged in total by the utility.
Is that happening often?
We are concerned that it is happening more than it should be, especially for vulnerable households. I mean, we've seen some instances of parks down in the Tucson area where we had significant overcharging, where the Attorney General got involved and got some money back for folks like that. So we think that it is happening, and we're concerned about seniors on fixed incomes and vulnerable households.
And that bill has passed out of the House, correct?
It did pass over the House and is on its way over to the Senate.
Okay. Any concerns there?
I don't think so. It passed out of the House bipartisan support. We had no opposition to that bill by legislators. So I think it's a pretty common sense solution. We're just saying, like you or I are charged for the utilities that we use. We're just trying to apply some of those protections in this unique situation.
Senate Bill 1558, that updates existing law in the same manner as the House bill?
Yeah, in many ways it has some mirror clauses, but it tries to go a little bit farther, and it tries to give tenants a little bit more transparency, requires a few more things in the bills that they receive, requires them to be able to have a sightline into what the landlords are being charged by the utility so that they can make some comparisons. It also gives some tighter protections to go after bad actors under the Arizona Consumer Fraud Act.
Interesting. I thought it was interesting to see better information on meter readings and administration fees, as you mentioned, and usage, and better notice periods and these sorts of things.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think anything we can do to be giving transparency, because they're not, you or I could call our utility company and say, hey, what's up with this bill? What are we, and the utility would be required to talk us through that and to help us understand. These manufactured homeowners don't have that same ability, and so we're trying to create some of those better consumer protections for them.
Okay, the House bill looks pretty good. Senate bill, what are you seeing there?
Senate bill, I think we're going to have to do some interesting things down. You never say anything is dead down at the Arizona legislature, but we're going to focus on House Bill 2459 right now and just follow 1558 as best we can.
And the bipartisan nature would suggest that if it reaches the governor's desk, she would sign.
Yeah, I mean, I think that these are low-income seniors. We know that seniors are experiencing higher rates of eviction and homelessness than we've seen in prior years, and so I know that she's concerned about vulnerable households and have every confidence that this would be the same bipartisan support at the governor's office as well.
All right, Kelly McGowan, again, Executive Director of Wildfire. It's good to have you here, and thank you so much for giving us some information on this legislation.
Thank you.
All right, and that's it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.
Because kids will always be more curious, Arizona PBS delivers programs that serve as a trusted guide for little explorers. Thanks to you and